さて、前回の続きになります。キャプチャー9結末。
I know you have a flair for the dramatic, but I do have a job to do.
I wonder how many other hidden skeletons are going to...
Haven't you caused enough damage?
クリスチャンセン氏はどんな罪を犯したか。
Madame Hélène, the famous actress and performer. Look here! When you overheard the conversation between your husband and Mademoiselle Court-Smythe at the gala,
I did everything to keep you happy, but it was never good enough.
It began with an infatuation, but turned into a relationship.
So that's why you took it.
She manipulated me from day one. She used me. She used her.
Oh, just keep it shut.
Perhaps, for once, you should listen to your wife.
I wonder how many other
This is all going to make for some story.
爆破長は盗難でどんな役割を果たしたか。
Deals were hatched, forgeries were created, and promises were broken. She allowed for you all to see and know only what was necessary to...
As much as I'm enjoying this show, any chance we can get to who killed her?
You shall have to wait only a moment longer. As there was only one accomplice left, and perhaps the most important. Not only her aid in the museum, but in the construction of the forger.
You were part of it, the whole time.
Taking us all for fools.
You know where the painting is, and who killed Irene.
ウォーベック城は絵画の盗難でどんな役割を果たしたか。
Mademoiselle Warbeck.
No, I mean...
On the contrary, Mademoiselle Court-Smythe threatened...
I wouldn't kill her, though. I couldn't.
You cleaned the key to the restoration room, did you not? You continued to deny your involvement with a relationship that was nothing.
You think I don't know that? I knew it had been her that took the key from my pocket.
Behind bars, that's where she belongs.
Give it a rest, old man.
She can't speak to me like that.
Before you continue riding your high horse, Your Grace, perhaps one should consider one's own...
My actions? How dare you?
It is you that makes a mockery, and I...
I have dedicated my life.
横領、剣を撃って出るためした。
The pieces you had commissioned by Mademoiselle Court...
Why are we even standing here listening to this man?
Has this got anything to do with, frankly, anything?
Mademoiselle Court Smythe's forgeries would be hung on the church wall.
You have no proof of these accusations.
Poirot, the penitent Magdalene.
How could one forget? We have already discussed one of the multiple forgeries. Mademoiselle Court Smythe sold you a forgery that you believe to be real. One should not allow oneself the arrogance to... I am sure theft and embezzlement are questionable enough in God's eyes.
Oh, I know things got out of hand, but...
There still remain one missing. The image of the honorable and
It may seem like an alien concept to you, but... How long are we going to entertain this?
Poirot, can we move this along?
While searching the main hall for clues, a snuff box was found. And after speaking with my good friend,
Recent studies have discovered that the use of cocaine...
Oh, preposterous!
Your heart attack became the perfect distraction. While
Faking a heart attack is pretty low.
Monsieur Hastings
Once the painting had been confirmed as
and Monsieur Aylesworth had bothered the detective inspector enough,
he would get to keep the original and claim the insurance money.
I'm not going to stand...
You'll stay right where you are.
a stolen painting. Time perfect, all designed to raise his profile.
I wasn't doing it for me.
I have never heard a more self-righteous...
How am I meant to help those that really need it and let...
新しいお知らせ。トロフィーを獲得しました。PS ボタンを押すと詳細を確認できます。
Tell us now, or I'm marching them all down the station.
Of our suspects, all guilty in some form or other. Monsieur Christiansen, a lover, jilted and Mademoiselle Warbeck. Another that Monsieur Aylesworth. Anger that of Bishop Mountjoy, a third, sold the idea of an Mademoiselle Farquhar. All with motive, but lacking opportunity. Isn't that right? Our true relation to the deceased.
You don't understand. It wasn't...
You decided to poison her with potassium cyanide, wearing an almost identical hat to the deceased, leaving her body lifeless in her own apartment. Incredibly clever.
Did you really just praise her for starting a fire?
On the contrary, it was the deception behind the fire. A timer was used, allowing for Mademoiselle Farquhar to be seen.
I didn't want to kill her.
She gave you no choice. You planned and executed a brutal
A cousin that has controlled me for years.
She held you captive? I did.
No, of course she didn't. Emotionally and financially, I was her captive. I was a struggling critic, but she taught me how to stand up for myself and get what I wanted.
You were aware of her scheme all along?
Not at first. I didn't...
But even when you did find out, you didn't stop.
There was always a reason I couldn't. I couldn't remain under her control anymore.
Mademoiselle, there is always another way.
All I see is the student becoming the master.
Detective Inspector, perhaps it is time that Mademoiselle was escorted to the police station. The truth has been revealed, and Mademoiselle Court-Smythe's murderer will pay the price for her crime.
There is something you're forgetting, though.
If you think for a moment that the location of the original painting has slipped my...
Go on then. Where is it?
続けて、それはどこに？
In this very museum. If the original painting was to find its way into her portfolio, it would be returned to her after her exhibition has concluded. Meaning,
It would be delivered to her on a plate.
exactement. She prepared one of her picture frames and made sure it would be in the restoration room.
What on earth is he doing?
You've got to be kidding me.
It would take too long to remove the nails from the frame and hide it, surely.
The nails were sewn down, creating the illusion of being used correctly, when in fact the backboard was easily accessible. Hidden perfectly behind what Mademoiselle Courtsmith deemed to be her masterpiece. I never doubted him for a second.
新しいお知らせ。トロフィーを獲得しました。PS ボタンを押すと詳細を確認できます。
終わっちゃったね。
Well, detective, you've solved both the theft and murder. I am rather impressed.
Finding the murderer and solving two thefts would have been far more impressive.
2 thefts? You already have another case?
You have forgotten Mademoiselle Farquhar's missing cigarette case.
Oh, of course. Do you think Miss Farquhar lied about it going missing after?
Mademoiselle Farquhar is far from an honest woman. But if her motive was indeed to fake theft and claim the insurance, she would surely not have left it lying where Mademoiselle Babagnin's motive is now clear. Something Hastings said has my little grey cells fired up. Could Mademoiselle Babagnin have pulled the wool over my eyes in a...
なぜババ人情は返したか。
It is you that should be happy, mademoiselle. You turned a stolen heirloom with a thief and a victim.
A case of being in the right place at the right...
I do not believe in coincidence. You were where you were, or been able to be within touching distance of so many
新しいお知らせ。トロフィーを獲得しました。PS ボタンを押すと詳細を確認できます。
One to be seen, or...
What are you trying to say?
That there are some that wear a mask of... That perhaps, under different circumstances...
Will you be leaving London now?
There are a few small matters to settle before I leave. Mademoiselle...
You really do believe in the law, don't you?
If you do not believe in the...
And everyone should be punished for their crimes?
I believe that we should be held accountable for our actions. No one man is above the law.
Or woman.
And you, mademoiselle? Are you to leave London?
There's nothing more for me here. I hear perchance our paths should...
Perhaps, under those different circumstances.
I look forward to it.
Well, that's that then.
Oui, monsieur. The cases are closed and Mademoiselle Farquhar will shortly be behind...
What of the others?
Judging by the detective inspector's glare at Monsieur Aylesworth, he will not be escaping the law. And Bishop Mountjoy. Once news spreads of his
I was hoping at least someone would get a happy ending.
Monsieur Hastings, you have been by my side throughout this investigation.
I helped where I could, but it was mostly you. I know that.
What you may not know, and I would kindly request you keep to yourself.
Lona?
I would not go as far as that. But it appears...
Good thing I was around to save you from a gunman.
I fear I shall not live that down.
I'll maybe hold on to it a little longer. Not many...
The great Detective Poirot. As much...
Our new relationship.
I have seen the benefit of friendship. Connecting with someone that can be trusted. And someone
新しいお知らせ。トロフィーを獲得しました。PS ボタンを押すと詳細を確認できます。
終わりか。終わっちゃいましたね。終わっちゃった。おう。これずっと続くかな。ABC 事件の時もずっと続いたから終わんないんじゃないかなこれ。まあここら辺で終わりにしようか。じゃあおう、眠いな。エンドロールがエンドレスエンドレスエンドロールエンドレスエンドロールもう眠くてさしょうがないんだ。 終わり。まあこういうところさ、完璧じゃないからさ、こういうののためにまた交差点のすべての駅を点検する。意味わかんねえな。孤独な犬。孤独な犬っているんだな。まあいいや、じゃあ終わり。